Hello, and welcome back to Positively Empowered, a 52-week journey of affirmation. I am your hostess, Ms. Faith, aka Faithalicious. I am super excited and so blessed and honored to have you join me today as we get into this week's new affirmation that I have just for you. So, hopefully, you were able to put last week's affirmation into practice and you were able to come up with some relaxation techniques to recognize that you are under stress and that you need to come up with ways to combat that. So continue to keep at it. Again, practice, 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 right? And then, we'll go from there. But you definitely got to put in that practice, right? Awesome. So we're going to get into this week's affirmation that I have for you so you can go and enjoy your beautiful resurrection Easter Sunday with your family and friends. Just want to have you start off the week on a positive note. So let's go ahead and get into a comfortable position so we can do our deep breaths. Great. Get comfortable. All right, here we go. Deep breath in and hold. Exhale. Really let your shoulders fall. Again, deep breath in. Hold. Exhale. Just feel relaxed. Last one. Deep breath in. Hold. Exhale. I really do love doing that. It is always awesome to be relaxed. So let's get into this week's new affirmation that I have for you right here. I will go ahead and read it. Self-care is a non-negotiable part of my routine. Non-negotiable. Let's say it 3 times. Self-care is a non-negotiable part of my routine. Self-care is a non-negotiable part of my routine. Self-care is a non-negotiable part of my routine. That is awesome. So, self-care, we've talked a lot about self-care. I mean, that is probably the most important thing, right, in order to be the best version of ourselves, is that we need to be able to promote self-care. Now, again, I do not look at the cards and pick them. My eyes are closed. I have meditated, and whatever card pops up, that is the one I talk about. So, everything just seems to be flowing perfectly. So self-care, we've talked about doing the routines and creating routines and sticking with them. But there's more to self-care than just routines. We're talking about the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and financial self-care, right? So those are like 5 main areas of self-care that we need to work on. So, we need to start off with physical, right? So physical self-care, obviously hygiene, making sure we're eating right, exercising properly, we're actually hydrating ourselves, that we're staying active and fit. That is an important part of the physical self-care. Coming up, like we do our morning and nighttime routines and our times when we just need to, just splurge a little bit, getting our nails done, hair done, things to make us feel good, right? So that's the physical. Then we have our mental, okay? So mental is basically taking the time to process whether it is a tragic or traumatic or a depressing event, or even if it's a good, happy, elated event. Being able to process, being able to understand that this is what you're going through, being able to understand that you will get through it, being able to be grateful for the process when you do have great news and great things happen. I think that a lot of times we don't process a lot of stuff. We kind of go from one thing, oh, it was terrible, I was upset, and then move into something else to kind of feel like, oh, it'll take my mind off of it. Some people revert to drinking or drugs because they don't want to really think about that mental aspect of things, right? Which causes a whole nother set of problems. So you want to be able to come up with ways such as relaxation, meditation, speaking with family and friends, speaking with a therapist or a psychologist, psychiatrist, any of those number of ways to promote your mental well-being and mental self-care. It's very important, right? So we did the physical, mental, spiritual. Spiritual is a very important part of everyone's life. If you're going to meet with a minister, a rabbi, a guru, a teacher, spiritual advisor, whatever you currently follow, speaking with them to elevate your senses in terms of spirituality, morality, things to better take care of yourself, your family, how to interact with other people, how to get along with other people when you don't see eye to eye. You know, really seeking out spiritual advice and counsel is very important for your overall self-care. It is very important and vital. So we have physical, we have mental, we have spiritual. Let's talk about emotional, right? Because it kind of goes in hand with all of the other things. So a lot of times, especially with women, right, we are ruled by our emotional states, and being able to really dive into why are we feeling this way, what we can do to kind of rectify that situation, how did we get here, how can I move forward, right? How can I be more relaxed in my thoughts? How can I be more relaxed in my delivery? You know, what caused me to come out of character? So again, analyzing, self-analyzing, talking with friends and family, they all go hand in hand. But this is the best way to be able to take emotionally good care of yourself, is to recognize that and kind of try to do some detective work to figure out how I got here. How did this happen? So we did physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and last but definitely not least is financially. Taking financial care of yourself, right? We have people that rely on us. We have family that relies on us to both mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially, as well as emotionally. So being able to be financially literate, being able to speak with someone about your long-term goals, whether it includes taking care of relatives, loved ones, whatever it may be, being financially responsible, learning how to save, learning to spend on things that are necessary, things like that. It's very important with your overall self-care, because if any of those 5 things are off, it will throw off your self-care, right? So you want to be able to have everything be in balance and harmony. That was one of our previous affirmations, is balance and harmony. So that you are able to just have all the way around optimal health. What I'd like to promote today is one of my favorite things is I like the word growth, right? So most people think of growth, it's elevating, it's evolving, it's putting yourself in a different and better position, right? Well, growth simply means getting rid of waste. So that's what you're doing when you're in your life. You're getting rid of waste. You know, I always equate this to being a plant. That's the best analogy, is a plant. Plants grow. What do plants need in order to grow? Much like ourselves, we need to, have a great foundation, right? So plants need to have the correct soil. They need to make sure they're in the right pot, and that, they have all the essentials that they need, right? So hydration is important for our bodies as well as plants. They need water in order to grow, right? Sometimes you'll have some leaves that are not thriving and they need to be cut out. much like us in our lives, we need to cut things out that no longer serve a purpose in our lives. So we need to be able to cut them out, right? We need to be able to weed them out. Whenever there's, weeds or something near your plants, you want to pull the weeds because they're going to negatively affect that growth. So you in life need to do the same thing. If there are people, things that are negatively affecting your growth, you got to cut them out, right? It's not easy and it might be painful, but it is necessary. You need to be in the right environment. You need to be in the right elements, right, for your plant to grow. You have to be in the right environment. You have to have all of the, air conditions. You have to have everything set up so that you can thrive. Same as within our lives. We need to be in the right place with the right people in the right conditions in order for us to thrive and grow. You also need to be able to protect. Your plants can't get, if it's a deep freeze, they're going to die. So you need to be able to protect your plants, right? You need to be able to cover them and make sure they're safe, make sure they're okay, make sure they're able to get through it. Much like ourselves, we need to protect our peace, which is what we talked about not last week, but the week before, protecting our peace, right? So you need at all costs. So whatever that looks like for you, you need to be able to protect it so that you can evolve into this best version of yourself. So remember that all we're doing here with these affirmations is we're growing. We are learning to grow. We are learning to become the best version of ourselves. We are learning to get rid of waste. That's what we're doing. So hopefully this affirmation resonated with you. I know it's a little bit long on this one, but I really want you to be able to promote and practice self-care. So get out there, practice this week. You've got this. I believe in you. Come on, you can do it. And with that said, remember, you received it, you believed it, you achieved it, and it's done. And until next week, I will see you then. Bye, everyone.